Welcome back to Joe and Di's Allotment channel. I'm Joe and Di is behind the camera. Thank you very much, Di. January, so it's the start of the allotment and kitchen garden year. So what I'm going to be doing is planting some early seeds, tidying up some of the fruit trees and bushes as well. So yeah, we're in the greenhouse. As you can see, we've still got salad crops available to see us through, hopefully, for a bit longer. We've got some rocket, some lettuces, some spinaches, parsley, curly parsley and coriander, some mizuna. Still got some lettuces as well, and some onions coming through as well. So looking quite good. So yeah, we've got this greenhouse and we've got the other cold greenhouse at the allotment as well. So between them they keep us going with salad crops throughout the sort of winter period. They did get affected by the really cold week we had, the snow. They died off, and remarkably they've come back to life again. So pretty good really. They're quite hardy crops. So yeah, I mean, it's the start of the year. So if you've already subscribed to the channel, I'd like to say thank you. And if you haven't, what we try and do is we try and grow as much of our own food as we can through the year, and in the most cost efficient way we can as well. So that's our sort of target really. So yeah, we try to grow as much as we can. We also show people how we preserve and how we utilize the crops as well, sort of recipes along the way as well. So if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing and follow our journey through the growing year. So the first thing I'm going to be planting today is spinach, perpetual spinach. 50 pence a packet. It's amazing really. You get so many plants out of one packet. Yeah, I think there's 230 seeds in there, so amazing really, really good value. You can see the garlic I planted earlier is actually coming through now, so that'd be good for some green garlic in the spring. So we plant that at sometime when the weather conditions are good, and we'll get some green garlic at before we sort of plant main crop garlic for bulbs. So yeah, spinach. Perpetual spinach is it's not actually part of the spinach family, although it's called spinach. It's part of the beet family. They're very high in nutrients, and the young leaves are good to put in salads as well. So it's sort of very hardy. The frost doesn't even bother it really. It just kind of seems to be spring back to life. Yeah, very good crop. So what I'll do is I'll put these into the cold greenhouse, and they normally take between sort of 7 to 14 days to germinate. So we should get some plants and be able to put them out in the spring. So they're quite a wrinkly seed. So I'll put them into these modules. I think I'll put three or four in each module. So we cover these about 1 inch deep. Give them a firm down. I've already pre-watered the modules, and as I said, I'll leave them in here, leave them in the cold greenhouse, and they'll germinate in their own time. Can take up to 21 days, so it's quite slow. Depends on the conditions. I mean, we've got a nice sunny afternoon now, but it's January, so we're not going to get that many sunny afternoons, so we'll see how we go. So another job for sort of mid-January is to start chitting the first earlies. I've actually got some Swift variety today. They're a nice oval, very early variety. So what I'll do is I'll put them into some sort of more just moist compost really. Try and put them into sort of with an eye facing upwards, and we'll chit those, which is basically pre-growing them, basically. That's what it means. Start the shoots growing. And I'll put these into the conservatory, and what I'll try and do is I'll do some every week for the next few weeks, starting off with the first earlies, then the second earlies, and then moving on to the main crop at some stage. So they're all sort of at different stages really. So when you get to planting, you can plant them in stages and hopefully get the crops in stages as well. So I'll keep the label so I don't get confused between the different varieties. And I've already labelled the spinach as well, and everything else that I'm going to do today, because I do have the occasional mishap of not labelling and then finding out I'm not quite sure what I planted. So it's always worth labelling straight away. So these are going to the conservatory now, so it gives them a little bit extra heat. It's not a heated conservatory, but it just keeps the cold off them a bit more. So yeah, it's good. Next thing I'm going to sow is some cauliflower, and this is a variety called All Year Round. It's very old variety, and it's got large, round, quite large heads really. So what I'll do is plant these in the propagator with the peppers, so that will give us a crop earlier on, probably around, where are we? Probably June, July. Yeah, we might get a crop in June, July depending on the conditions, and then I'll plant some more later on in March to give us a summer autumn crop really. So yeah, so these are a good variety. Quite like this one. And what I do is I use the pencil to form like a little crevice, because these go about 3/4 of an inch deep, sort of 2 centimeters. So I won't grow too many. Hopefully 6 to 8 heads, hopefully we can get out of it. That was enough for us, enough to make some lovely cauliflower curry. It's tiny little seeds really, so it's very hard to sort of judge. I'll just put a few in. If we get sort of 6 to 8 heads, that'd be enough for us really. And you can sort of sow again in a few weeks time if they don't germinate. I'll just cover these lightly. These should take about 7 to 12 days to germinate. Depending on how many we get, or if we don't get any, I'll decide to sow some more later. And they like a nice firm soil, so give them a good firming down. So they can go into the propagator now. So I've got 3 varieties of peppers to plant today. I've got a sweet California, which is a sort of bell-shaped one, a longer one, which is a Romano, and some little bush sizzlers. They are really hot, these ones. We grew some of these last year, and we made some chili powder with them, and it's very hot. So yeah, 3 varieties. What I'll do is I'll plant them into the propagator. They'll take, once they do germinate, we'll pot them on in stages until it's ready to plant out, which is, you know, in the summer. So they'll be quite large hopefully by the time the summer comes around. A bit. I'll try and spread these out, and these take about 14 to 21 days to germinate, so they can be quite slow to germinate. So this is the first sowing. I can do another sowing in sort of 2 to 3 weeks again, depending on how many we get. So these are the sort of hot ones, which was like a little bushy variety, but they've done really well last year. Ended up giving quite a few away to sort of allotment neighbours. So I might have to use up the whole packet, I think, because I'll use those up for this year. So these are the Romano. These are the long peppers. I think I'll use up the whole packet, and then I'll buy some more to plant again later, I think. That's it. So these go around about 1 inch deep. I've already pre-watered the module, and these are going to the propagator as well. Give that a good firming down in a moment. That's it. It's been a very wet few weeks really, so I've not been able to get down the allotment as much as I'd like to. So, but we'll soon catch up with the weeding and path making. But yeah, we might pop down the allotment shortly. So that's a seed sowing done for January. Yeah, so sweet potatoes, spinach, pepper, cauliflower. So they're the things I'll sow in January, and then I'll pop down the allotment and do some work down there and do some harvesting as well. So we're on plot 59 now. One of the jobs which we're scheduled for this month is to prune the apple trees. We'll take out there's quite a lot of overcrowded wood on this one, so we'll do that this month. But what I've got to do first is trim the vine down, which is also this month. But I think I'll do a separate video on trimming vines. But we'll get round to pruning the apple tree and try and take out some of the overcrowded wood. I was beginning to think that these broad beans weren't going to come up. And they're all starting to come through now. Looking quite good. So I've got one full bed here, another half bed on that side. Another job we've got to do is do the greenhouse. As you can see, plastic's just ripped in, so we'll recover it at some stage. But it seems to be still protecting the crops in here. Garlics are coming up really well, the endives. We've got some spinach there, some rocket down this end, and some winter onions here. So even though it's a ramshackle thing now, it seems to be protecting the crops quite well. We're still cropping some carrots. Nice little pile there. I'll take those over and get them washed. Not a bad size carrot, looking quite good. So due to the amount of rain we've had this winter, it's been phenomenal. I mean, the water butts are full up, that's one good thing, but we haven't got round to sort of weeding the paths and redoing them. We've done some of them, but we need to hopefully have a dry period in the next couple of weeks, and then we can get on with it. So working our way through the cowl, we've still got quite a few. We've got some down the other end as well, so they're quite good, winter hardy. We've got a nice little bunch there. A little bit weird looking parsnip. Doesn't look very healthy, that one. That's better. Dig out a few parsnips as well. The globe artichokes were quite large before we got that really bad snow and cold weather for about a week, which killed them off completely, but they're starting to come back to life again. So hopefully we'll still get a crop this year. They're looking quite healthy again. So we're on plot 52 now. The four rows? 1, 2, 3, yeah, 4 rows of new strawberry plants we put in are doing okay. We thoroughly weeded it a few weeks back. They need redoing again, but the plants are looking quite healthy. They're growing quite well. So hopefully we'll get these established. There's a few gaps now that we need to fill in. We'll do that when the soil dries out a little bit more. So I'll just clean up some of the leeks. I've still got quite a few leeks actually, so I should keep us going for a few more weeks yet. We've got another row cow there. So once the lockdown, the other plot finishes off, we'll start going through these ones. They're very hardy, so they'll go all the way through the winter. So that's a few jobs to keep you going through sort of January. You can do some early seed sowing. You can tidy up your trees, tidy up your currant bushes, and you've still got a little bit of harvesting to do, which is a bonus. But yeah, I mean, hopefully you enjoy watching this video. Give us a thumbs up if you have. Share the video, or if you'd like to carry on following our journey, please consider subscribing, and visit us again shortly. Thank you for watching.